Hello and welcome everyone to another Let's Play with the developers. My name is Raycoms and we are live here on HellColonies on our Minecolonies Patreon server. We've got Frito and Mizan today on the Patreon server, and Sam Letters will be coming relatively soon as well. Hi Raven. Now, today I'm more organized. I double checked the mic settings before starting the stream, and hell were those things borked again. But I think now you should be able to hear the music in the background and hear me talking. Hi Raven, that is. Can you hear the fan behind me? Like, is there a weird annoying noise, or is it actually fine? Lumberjack level 3. Where's the builder? Okay, Bernard started the lumberjack building. So, delivering. Let's start here on the top. We have the list, yes. So let's go to the ship. Wait a second. I think I have a few things here actually already. Let's see what I have here with me that I could be delivering already, potentially. Okay, here. The stems. Here, here. Anything else? I don't know. Those I can put back here. Those here too. That's two. That two. Here we go. Anything else I have? No. Okay, I'm going to the ship. Wait, I think I can already make these final slabs and stairs while I'm on it. There was not a lot of slabs and not too many stairs. Is that enough? Slabs, yes. Stairs, no. Take the remaining stairs too. So let's take a stack here. Make a bunch of stairs here. Okay. A shroom light we have with us as well. Here, one of them. Polished basalt we also have here. Good that I was again taking a better in-depth look. And now it froze. Okay, we're back. So here and here, basalt. Warped roots. I have spruce with me. Here, spruce. The roots we don't have. The spruce. How many trapdoors was it? 2. Great. Dark oak 2, but that is actually quite the small list. Hi Ross, how are you doing? Today everything is organized. Ray is very organized today. So down we go. Definitely ship. So those we dump here. Yes. Okay. Now we need dark oak trapdoors. I think we have a lot of dark oak. It's like our trim. Spruce. Dark oak here. 1 and 6. I think it was another 2 dark oak trapdoors. Yes. Those they're going to get delivered from the warehouse. That's amazing. So I only need the flower pods, the lantern, and how many crimson? 4. 4 crimson stem. I'm going to put a few in the warehouse too. 4 flower pots. Are we out already? Again. Here. Brick. No more brick. Come on. Don't do that to me. Yes. More brick. That's good. So, I'm going to make a bunch more and put them in the warehouse too. While I'm on it. 12. Here. So, lantern. Stripped crimson stem it was. Okay. Here we go. down. We got all 6. And this weird shell stuff. And 6 lantern. Now that one is the one I'm the least happy about because that needs a lot of iron. Good that we made some new. Okay, 6 it was. I have. I'm out. I was actually out of torches in my inventory. I don't believe it. So here, torches. And then it was 6. And then we have basically everything. Yes. And we take down here Dev Colony, and we deliver that straight to the builder already. And we're slowly getting closer to having space for automation. We're going to have the smeltery going hopefully soon. And after the smeltery, the remaining things I think are going to be less problematic, but we should get the sawmill afterwards then. Let me let me check what was the requirement again for the sawmill. Was it just a level A, not nice. Was it just a level 1 smeltery? Lumberjack level 3, that was what it was. Okay. Can I escape here? Nope. Oh wait, I can. Nope, I can't. Those darn slimes. Almost killing this visitor. You are living on dangerous grounds, my friend. Oh, oh, oh. Wow, they deal some damage, Lord. Okay. So we got that done. Now I wanted to go to the warehouse first and deliver a bunch of those things I have here with me. Kinda to have that delivered by our couriers then. That's already one of the very important steps to automation. Hi Sam, how are you doing?
Hi.
So this here.
I heard you are dying from some visitor.
Oh no, I would say not so far from accidentally shooting a visitor in the head and then having an entire mob after me. That was relatively close.
Right.
That was relatively close. So Nightinum is currently working on the structurized stuff, merging pull requests and stuff. I think is going to be nice. I created a, not sure if you saw, I created a draft for having 2 caches actually.
Oh yeah, I saw that PR and was wondering what it was for, because you didn't mention that part.
It's basically, the thing is we have a cache for blueprint rendering, so that
I know.
So you render, like you have something here, and then it saves all the voxels basically, and then even if when I move it, it just changes the position and not the saved already renderable model, which makes this as fast as it is actually. Now the problem is if I now am not rendering this decoration, but I'm actually rendering a building like I have here, like the lumberjack or whatever, that has the equal hash as the one in the cache. So both will be the same entry in the cache, and if I click rotate, it will rotate both of them because they're the same thing, just at different positions, right? And we can't use rotation mirror and position in the hash, because else I couldn't move it around and rotate it easily, right? That is the entire problem. Hi Margot. So I'm still debating. I'm still debating a little bit. So one solution is obviously having just two caches, a static cache and a dynamic cache. The static cache for all those buildings that are not going to move, and a dynamic cache for those that will move.
I mean, we could like also include instances or so in the hash.
Yes, we
Like,
could
when
include
you
some kind of UUID or something like that.
yeah, like
But-
when you create the preview, it gets an ID, and that is just hash.
But we have some
alone.
things on purpose, like if I have here this well, and even if I switch here and then switch back to the well, it already is in the cache. That is like on purpose, that you can, that the things are saved. Like we have 30 cache entries, so, and that are stored for a certain amount of time. So we have on purpose that, right? Such that
Yeah.
you can easily quickly switch between schematics as well, and once one entered the cache, you can easily like for example, you render a building and you want to go between 1 and 5 back and forth a little bit. That won't be that bad on your FPS because we have it in the cache. So instances wouldn't allow that to work. Now what my general idea was to include something like, and I think that Nightenum is not enjoying it, so I would check with Orion on it. If Orion agrees with me, then we overruled Nightenum. So the idea I had was to include a source in the hash. So one is source player, and one is source the specific block pods we are rendering the building.
Yeah, that's basically like an ID or instance.
So that would allow us to handle that more gracefully. Now, Nightenum finds that hacky. I said Horizon. He prefers the dual cache, but I think the source field is more powerful.
Yeah.
Hi, John.
Match it nicely.
And obviously it requires less code changes and requires significantly less breaking code changes, and I guess it's generally easier to handle and more extendable. Because we have to have a third source, or it's not static, we want to be able to rotate a building like that as well, these kinds of things, right? So the builders now got everything for the lumberjack, and I will check on the other builder as well while I'm on it. I think I only have one scroll, don't I? Yes, only one. So we got here the smeltery, but no, the other one is still working on the citizen hut, isn't he? Let me check on that. Mr. Builder. Okay, he's still working on the citizen hut and is still digging out for the citizen hut, to be exact. Let me go upstairs there and check on him. And that's weird. Why does Terraforge not work under 1.16.5? That didn't change anything. It was just like bug fixes. Like 1.16.4, 1.16.5 from 1.16.3 shouldn't have any problem at all. Weird. So where's the next citizen hut? Ah, it's here. Oh, he's relatively close, I think, to finishing it. He's already digged out a decent amount of space here.
You have reached the voice.
They Forge created something new in 1.16.5, and
of course
Terraforge people are unhappy with it. In general, my greatest motivation to go to the next version is that Optifine will work again then.
Just wait for the
Because
tone.
they messed up 1.16.4 south east. Yeah, Optifine messed up 1.16.4 completely, and they need 1.16.5 basically to run. I think I'm going to spend a little bit time here fixing up this upper area, like I had said in the last episode, because this here looks like just something exploded here and placed buildings randomly where there was space. Okay, and we got a server restart. Isn't that a charm?
If you need further assistance, enter
Yes.
now.
I hope they get it sorted out, because that is kinda important to have everyone on the same version, right? Not some people stuck on some versions and whatever.
Number, and a message.
So
Yeah, that's what happens when you like make changes, breaking changes to just one version,
yeah,
which Forge apparently did. I thought they didn't want to do that.
oh, I find it so I find it so funny how like all the fabric mess.
Goodbye.
This is just so funny. Like fabric is having fabric was created because they were unhappy with Lex's behavior, which even resulted in people locking away Lex behind the triage team, such that no one has to talk with Lex personally anymore, such that people will not be offended by his rude behavior.
Yeah, that's for sure is the easiest solution to that issue, guys.
Yeah,
It's like, can't he just learn to behave? That's not that hard.
it's one of these classic open source project problems, right? It's like you got one guy that started most of this shit that is there up there in the position where you can't reasonably remove them, but they're also, and they know that, and that's why they also do not care a whole lot about behaving appropriately in a way that is non-toxic for the community. And
If you got this one guy kinda in charge and he's
although I
kinda
have
sitting
to
there.
say, Lex has gotten better. He's
Oh,
still
no, I'm not in that Discord.
he's still dry as hell, but he's not just openly hostile directly anymore. So I think there has been some general progress on that as well. But yes, that's one of these things, like open source projects can be very problematic if the wrong people are at the top. Which is, since developers are at the top, quite often the case. Most developers have severe problems dealing with people. And quite often those people that turn out development leads in open source projects are those people that like are not contracted in real life for any job, but are really smart and got their shit together to make a living from home. But they're not contracted to jobs just because they're don't work very well in teams. Like, what was this? There was like a secured Linux. I always tell it. Sorry, there was this Linux security guy that made a pull request to the Linux kernel, and then received death threats
Yeah,
He received death
there's a lot of
threats
stories like that.
because he's a security guy and not a kernel guy, and he should stay out of kernel and should stick to security stuff. It's like,
Yeah, so much for open source, right?
yeah, that's like, wow. Very, very problematic. Oops. So, yes, luckily Minecolonies has me. I'm relatively approachable. And most of the time very nice as well. Unless someone really approaches me in a very hostile manner, it can be also not very nice. As someone discovered these days on GitHub, calling Raven toxic on GitHub in an issue, like calling, not only calling Raven toxic, calling our team toxic, insulting our team as toxic. The only thing our team did was like pointing out, asking them to fill in the template accordingly. That's what all. And then he was like, okay, if you're not happy with the information I gave you and you don't want to fix the bug, then you can close this issue. By the way, your team is toxic. And I was like, and so I had to defend our team, because I think there's very, very little toxicity, if at all, from our team. Especially on GitHub issues, they're all very professional always. But so I wrote that if he's not able to fill this issue, he can go somewhere else. I never get on a soapbox and deliver tirades on socioeconomics and governments. I never do that. Never. I get in a chair and get a mic and deliver tirades on socioeconomics and governments. Very different, sorry. I'm already almost trembling to know how this game thing, what is the name of the company, Gamebox, how that story is going to turn out. I really want to know how that is going to turn out. As like people already, the companies and the stock exchange already called for a government bailout, then they're kind of locking in the trades. It's like, and trying to manipulate it down and these kinds of things. We're just like, wasn't there this free market thing? Wasn't there? I thought we had a free market. Wasn't there? Like everyone is allowed to do things.
I'm not sure.
No, I think the free market was only for them, not for us, right? That's
Yeah, for them. It's their free market, not ours.
Yes. It's the free market of the rich people, not the free market of the poor people. Poor people are supposed to lose money in the free market, not make money in the free
they aren't
market.
supposed to like group up and fight against rich people. Hello? That's not allowed.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want as long as you're in control. There's relatively big stories on, like there's those people, anarcho-capitalists, that say like, free market, like look at all the biggest countries in the world. The more liberal they are economically, the more successful they are, and thus we should be 100% liberal without any government restrictions whatsoever. Now, I agree that government restrictions mess up a lot of things. On one hand, like like sustaining unsustainable business models like milk, meat, and all kinds of those are probably the ones that receive the most government funding. If you're asking why oat milk is more expensive, it's not more expensive. You're paying quite a lot in taxes for the normal milk on top of the milk price you're already paying. But there's a lot of mess going on there with the government, that I agree. But there are a lot of things that would be like significantly worse in terms of worker rights and these kinds of things, which would be absolutely horrifying without those regulations. But wait a second. Here, that's the way it is, unfortunately, and it's better to have a little bit of government control there than just have it completely free and everyone does whatever they want. That wouldn't work very well. Here, there we go. But now I remembered what I wanted to say. So there are these people that say, okay, the free market is actually great, etc. But historically, like what made England rich, for example, if you look, is it the free market that made England rich? No, actually, England, France, Germany, the US, they had, especially in the early moments of their economy, they had a very restrictive market, very strong trade restrictions to protect their local industries. Now, what they did is they forced other countries to not have trade restrictions, and that's how they made the money. Like England forced India to have no trade restrictions at all, to buy stuff very cheaply from them and sell them all their stuff cheaply, while at home they had heavy trade restrictions. That is the Minecolonies test pack. I think it should be still working. Yes, this one here. So, how I'm going to now make this, I think I will need normals. How I'm going to make those stairs here now? Yeah, I think I will have to use stairs after all.
Did you see any barbarians?
Nope. So far, none at all. Yeah, it's like that happens with all kinds of animal products that they have to just, okay, the milk price dropped, the meat price dropped, something dropped. Hello Arnie, welcome to the stream. The price dropped. Oh, no problem, let's just kill a bunch of animals. No problem. But that is not the biggest problem. The biggest problem is that cow milk is much more expensive to produce actually than is oat milk or soy milk. It is actually much more expensive. The only reason it is cheaper is because it's produced in bigger quantities. There is more competition yet in the market. And there are enormous government subsidies. That's the only reason why it is cheaper. I think I will need it like this then. I think I have to put all of this one back. And I mean, it is also, and that even if you do not include a CO2 price on cow's milk, it's already more expensive to produce. Imagine if you included a fair CO2 price on it, would just skyrocket. So, I didn't know that part. Yeah, that takes us always to those problems. Okay, it's like they're burning crops because of price volatility, and you're like, but we're burning food because it's cheaper to burn it than to sell it because that makes the price move up. Something is wrong in this system. We're burning food because it's better to burn it than to do something else with it. Something is wrong in the system.
Sure. Sounds normal to me. I always burn my food instead of eating it.
Yeah, sometimes I go to the supermarket and I see there's a great promotion and I'm like, no one deserves this promotion, so I buy all of it. I eat a bit of it and burn the rest.
Yeah, right.
That's what I usually do.
Yeah, that's normal, I think.
Yeah, I think that's what most people would do. I mean, it is the very logical process, isn't it? Okay, we have to go to the ship. I'm very unhappy with those stairs. I need to get nether brick stairs. Oh, the lumberjack is almost finished. Nice. Here. Yeah. It's like companies are throwing away lots and lots and lots of food. And meanwhile getting it in a container behind the supermarket can land you in court, right?
Yeah, it's just stupid.
Sometimes there are even laws against that. In some places they're even not allowed to give it to homeless people. Yes, I just wanted to mention that because France has launched some laws on that recently. And I heard that there are some supermarkets are also starting to do things on their own. Like, for example, one of the things you can check if your supermarket wastes food is you go to the bakery of your supermarket an hour before closing, and if it's still full, you know that your supermarket throws away a lot of food. That's how you see if a supermarket wastes food.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, there are a few supermarkets that already do that themselves. They like if you arrive there late and you're unlucky and there are not a lot of things in the bakery anymore, which is like totally fine. Like in the past, you had to go in the morning before 12 o'clock to the bakery to get anything from the bakery at all. And nowadays you can go like until even relatively late to the bakery. It's like, yeah, people just need to learn how to plan again. Just have to teach the population again to not do everything last minute and require everything last minute. And there are some companies donated, and then there are some stores where you can buy expired food. I've read these days that there were some, for example in Germany, some supermarkets that kind of buy expired food from big supermarkets and then sell it for a low price. Because like their products like chocolate cream or jam and these kinds of things that are expired are still good for a long time. Yes, I love these kinds of things. Just make a sale, like the easiest thing. Like we lived close to the supermarket that made pies, right? And big ones, way too many. And those pies, now those guys didn't actually throw the pies away like they were supposed to. They would just keep them for a long time until they were obviously expired, but already tasting sour for a while. And already no one was buying it anymore because everyone knew that, so it was going to waste anyway, right? Just as bad as throwing it away. But just instead of making a nice promotion, right? Make a promotion every 2-3 days of the stuff that's going to expire soon. It's going to get some clients in your store. Those people are likely to pick up something else as well, so it's a win-win as well anyway. And you're just wasting less food. So you'd think that would be a win-win, right?
Yeah.
You would think. So, oh, what? Lumberjack is still at work. Ah, everyone is sleeping because the raiders are not coming, obviously. The dumps. Yeah, I wouldn't buy sushi day old. Definitely not. I don't eat sushi anyway, so. There is vegan sushi though. I already saw that, and it's apparently relatively good. Depending on the place, obviously. There's some companies that make vegan fish alternatives that, as far as I saw the reviews, taste amazing. Yeah. It's funny. It's like we're not supposed to eat animal stuff because it's really bad after a short period of time because there's so many bacteria and stuff in it. Would be so much easier just to use to make it from vegetables. That's like one of the things I absolutely love from buying meat replacement products. It's just me. I just don't give it. I just don't care. It's a week in the fridge. I don't care. I'm still going to fry it, and it's still going to be good. And if it's not good, it's only vegetable stuff, so it's not something you get seriously ill from. Like, if you make expired meat, that's like really problematic.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a Japanese vegan restaurant and store close by here where we buy actually most of our stuff. It's a very little cute little store, and they make a lot of things themselves. And these days we bought like a fish replacement. That is, that one didn't taste a lot like fish, but it was really delicious. It was made from soy and algae, right, to get a fishy taste. So you get basically all the nutrients the fish has, at least. And it's delicious, that's what matters. So you got the omega-3 from the algae, and you get the protein. Not sure if they do Buddhist style vegan food. I only know they're Japanese, and I only know they're like there for decades at that place, selling vegan and vegetarian, selling vegan food. Actually, they call it a vegetarian restaurant, but all options they have is vegan. I think they have this restaurant for so long that was before veganism actually was something people knew what it is. Actually, a lot of people still don't know it. We're visiting my girlfriend's grandma these days, and we're saying, "Oh, we'd be a vegan," and they're like, "What? You're what?" And like, we don't eat this kind of stuff. And it's like, what? Why? What are you doing? Although after we explained it, she did get it, and she found it nice. But at the first moment, it was like, what? Why the hell? Ah, where's the entrance to this hut? So, where did I just skip? Your mum doesn't want to eat vegetarian? That's funny. It's like, no, we've been working. Ah, yes, it's one of the classic things. I heard an anecdote these days of a woman that works in a ice cream store. Now, a lot of fruit-based ice cream is actually automatic vegan. Like mango doesn't need milk additionally because the mango already has so much juice and is already very smooth it doesn't require any milk or anything. Now, because of the increasing amount of vegans there are, the ice cream store started putting the vegan label on some of those ice creams, so that vegans know which one is actually vegan. And she told, so a family came in there and the daughter was like, "Oh, mango ice cream," and the mother like, "Oh no, that is vegan, you won't like that." Yeah, banana ice cream, exactly. Banana ice cream is actually super famous. They call it nice cream. Have you heard of that already, Sam?
Yeah.
Nice cream. I don't like banana ice cream, else I would make it. I don't like banana a lot in general. But nice cream is like super famous, yes. You should... Haven't you heard of that yet, Margot? Nice cream? You should Google that. There are like a lot of super easy homemade vegan ice cream recipes using bananas.
Well, it's like basically you freeze a banana and then crush it.
Yeah. You freeze banana,
it.
you crush it, and then you mix it with whatever you want. I think it's like saying I had bad pizza already, and that's why I don't eat pizza anymore. I had lots and lots of bad pizza in my life, but I still like pizza, right? But people are like, they're very quickly like, okay, they have like in their mind vegan food is bad, and then they eat 1-2 vegan foods that are bad, and then they're like, okay, I knew it, I don't have to eat anything of it anymore. Although I have to say, yeah, it's not like banana ice cream. You mix basically then the bananas with frozen fruit or something like that to get a different taste. It doesn't have to taste like banana. You can mix it with chocolate powder as well. It just has like a little hint of banana still. But to the defense, there are, I think, a lot of vegan products that are really bad. We've tried a lot of vegan stuff already, and there was a lot of vegan stuff that was like, this is horrible. This is just horrible. How can you sell something like that? Because these days we bought milk powder. So there's something like, you call it acai, I think. And that is like super famous, and it's like getting famous outside of Brazil as well, but it's like super famous in Brazil. And you put... Yeah, it's so we bought that vegan milk powder. Now we didn't, at that store they only had that one vegan milk powder, which was by Nestle, right? So I should have known better, but we bought it anyway. And it was like, how to describe the taste, it was like having earth in my mouth. It was like eating earth. So we really wrote an email to Nestle and it's like and we really wrote this tastes just shitty. This tastes bad. And it tastes so bad it's actually not edible. And actually we got our money back, the good thing. Yeah, exactly. You make an omelette, they eat it, you make a vegan or vegetarian, and they're like, I knew it, this one tasted a little bit different. Although I have to say from, like that, most of these things are more anecdotes that I heard, because with our family here, we've made actually only good experiences. So they have a Brazilian brand that is really famous, and like a Brazilian butchery that is really famous. No, not butchery, but they sell sausage and all these kinds of things. And it's one of the biggest Brazilian vendors of this. And they started recently selling plant-based products as well. All made from soy, all price-wise really competitive. And all we've tried so far, really good. Like they have hamburgers, they also have chickpea hamburger. I think it's pea hamburger with pea protein. Those are super delicious as well. But all we've ate were super delicious. We made hot dogs, we made meatballs, we made some other traditional Brazilian dishes. And everyone we offered it were like, this just tastes good. This just tastes great. Everyone really loved it so far. So in that regard, we made some good experience. So far, no one told us, "Ala, this is vegan, it's not good." But people are very skeptic at first, that they are always. Yeah. But fortunately, there are some more progressive companies than Nestle that are producing products for people to eat, actually. So that is nice, I guess. Cow.
Yeah.
What? I just hit the cow with my fist and it died. That was not intentional.
God Peter.
Now, to be honest, I'm kinda happy that the Nestle one sucked, because then I don't have to buy a Nestle product. We found at a different store one made from soy milk that is actually absolutely amazing. Tons of protein, no gluten, no milk, no lactose. And it's actually super funny. Like, we talked with my girlfriend's grandmother, like I said, and she was actually then in the middle of the conversation, she was actually telling us that she's actually lactose intolerant and suffers a lot of pain when she drinks milk. But she can't drink coffee without milk. So she kind of like accepts the belly pain.
Anyways. What?
And we were like, oh, you knew that like there are soy-based products you could buy that just taste actually super amazing. Yeah. We ate the vegan sub here in Brazil, which was pretty good as well. Although their vegan meat is provided by the company that creates all the meat alternatives here as well. But what have we tried? We tried a bunch of things already that have been. There's in Lisbon a hamburger store that makes hamburgers that out of black beans, chickpea, and some other things. It's like a mix of different vegetables that are absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. They have some different tastes as well. It doesn't taste like meat. It just tastes amazing. Like a lot of the meat alternative burgers actually taste better than the average hamburger in a normal hamburger store. But those were absolutely amazing. And one thing I'm still blown, it was a few months ago, was the chocolate cream they made. Like they made a chocolate mousse au chocolat, which was just like I was expecting just like your everyday store chocolate mousse there. I was like expecting it to be okay at best. But it was exactly how we made chocolate mousse at home. Exactly. Just with no milk at all. That one I'm still blown away until today. Because I absolutely love chocolate mousse. It's my favorite dish. Yeah, they're the two things. A lot of people think it's bad, and when it's not bad, they think it's costly. Now, vegan cheese is costly, I have to say. But cheese in general is so full of saturated fat, we shouldn't be eating it a lot anyway. So I'm just telling people, see, what you do, if you think it's expensive, you just eat half the amount of cheese, and then it's the same price as before, and much better for your health. You will eat all the cheese. I saw a video of a vegan these days making an outreach in France with some vegan camembert and these kinds of things, and a bunch of French people said it tasted perfect. So there are good alternatives as well, especially in Europe. There are a lot of companies nowadays offering quite the nice alternatives. Oh, I saw, not sure if you saw that already, but in Germany it seemed Penny, the supermarket, full on jumped on the vegan train and is offering like super cheap vegan cheese. But actually it is easy to produce, right? You just need the machines and the stuff for it. Just the investment that you're still paying at that moment. Yay!
Finally over.
So, remove this. I should remove the fire here as well. So, I think I did most of the clearing now. There's this one here, but that's not urgent. That's the citizen hut. I have to fill in this here a little bit, I guess. Yeah, but the thing is always like the traditional cheese and the traditional products, they had a head start of centuries, if not millennia, right? Producing the cheese and finding out the best ways to make normal cow dairy milk to cheese. But it's only a matter of time until we will have cheaper vegetable-based cheese than normal cheese that tastes just as well with the same properties. Ah, there's like, I had a vegan pizza from like one of your just local pizza chain vegan pizza, and the cheese was absolutely perfect, for example. So especially pizza cheese, if you make it yourself at home, I think can be relatively cheap and delicious to make. Although most of those use nuts as a base. When raids spawn on campfires, that's Sam's fault. So
yes, raids spawn with campfires, not on, with.
And sometimes on as well, and sometimes campfires spawn in blocks as well.
No.
Ah, yes, you told me about that. But I'm like, I think why it's like, okay, you can make this, but I think it's still more work than just making it plant-based. And it has no lactose, which is better for us. Like in general, lactose is not something we should be consuming. Like in Europe, we developed like some genetic mutation to process lactose because of, I guess, bad food conditions during the Middle Ages, I would guess. But it's still, our body has like a limit of lactose we can process, so we can even eventually become. That one is even lactose free. That's nice then. But it's still probably more work. Although obviously as an intermediary version before we discovered the secrets of making plant-based cheese, is definitely a great alternative without having anyone suffer for it, especially. Hey, it's like we're always saying, our diet is changed so much. It's actually, no, actually, like our grandparents, when they were younger, they were eating significantly less animal products than we are nowadays. Like even reducing it now for us, we will get closer to what they consumed. But our grandparents consumed significantly less meat, significantly less dairy, and these kinds of things. No, even in the US, our grandparents, I'm saying, not our parents, but our grandparents as well. Before all that fast food existed and all that stuff.
Yeah. They were like eating meat once a week or so.
Like even in the US in the 20s
like
and 30s. Like the meat thing in the US started when in the 50s, 60s as well, I would guess. Like around the time all those fast food restaurants started as well. So then it would go here then. I would guess here. Yes. So there we go. Oh, there's a lot of that here in the floor. We fix that as well. I would argue it was probably only plenty for the rich middle class, wasn't it? I can't imagine the lower classes were able to consume in those kinds of ages meat significantly at all. So wait. Here we go. But yeah, then meat kind of, because meat was always a luxury product, lots of people consumed it a lot, and then when it got cheaper, people were like, oh yay, more meat. So I think I got some more of the stairs I can just place already. Wait. Here. There. I think we needed... No, I think it's fine actually. I wanted to... No, that is actually the lower level here. I'm probably going to cut this here off and actually have this stand out up here a little bit. And then have here the only accessible stair to get up, to make it a little bit more difficult for the raiders. So here here. So one in still, right? Here and here. Here and here. And then that's all of it actually. That should work. Yes. And the stairs, the worker picked up. Okay. Let me get some more slabs. We have so much of this stuff. Here. And then we go basically here already, again downwards. Here. And then I think we can go like here, straight. Yeah, at least in Europe, the meat thing mostly started in the 80s, 90s, I think, when it really started ramping up, mostly through the industrialization process, etc. Although, of course, in the US in general, it's easier because the amount of land they had was always bigger. Although also these social injustices were bigger as well, between the lowest classes and the higher classes. Are we ready? Yes, he's working on the smeltery level 2 now. Awesome. It was 1910 in the US. Yeah, I would imagine the US being a little bit quicker, because around that time they were leading that industrialization effort. So I can imagine them having those factory farms a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
So, but even that is mostly the rich, like the upper middle class, those people that like made good money, and not the lower classes in the US. So the uptick is because of the richer white or majorly white middle class that was getting really rich around that time. So, dropping off some of that stuff here. So, let's drop some of this here. Making a little bit of space in my inventory, so I can have space to bring the stuff. Okay, one andesite, one blackstone. I have one blackstone. No. So that is one andesite, soapstone, one blackstone, one blackstone slab, two blackstone wall. One blackstone slab, two blackstone wall, blackstone wall here, block of coal, and how many blocks of gold? 2. Okay, so that's basically half of this here. Oh wow, from 40 pounds to 100, yeah, that's quite a lot, and all of that to the cost of the animal welfare and to the cost of the environment, right? So, cauldron and blocks of iron. So, we go up again. That might just be not enough to 2 blocks of iron. Just enough for this. Okay, awesome. A furnace. What else? Polished blackstone, polished bricks and slabs. So polished blackstone. I still have a bunch of bricks with me, don't I have? Yes, but not a polished one. Just one normally polished blackstone here. Let's go up to the builder. We're almost running full. Yes. No, obviously. People, it's like the car boom and these kinds of things. It was like a status symbol. Nowadays it's more cell phones being a status symbol. So people buy a new iPhone every year because that's the new status symbol, while cars are less important. So furnace. It's always stripped warp stem 44. 44. I'm going to make those already while I'm on it. Yeah, it's like, yeah, the Great but then that means like the losers of the Great Depression were not the ones consuming less meat. That started the additional meat consumption, right? Yeah, there's this. It's like those things change. It's like how brown sugar is more expensive than white sugar, even though it's just a not cleaned version of white sugar, and it's actually exactly the same. They're just selling it as the more healthy alternative, and it's now like an upper class product. Actually, though, it is the significantly easier to produce product. Yeah, there's the and companies actually jump on this always and make sure that you're always going to pay most for the one you want. But yes, like my father, like the education I had at home, like my father was like saying, oh, that kind of bread is like, that is food for poor people. He likes the little bread. That's you can see this if you look at the size of his belly as well. It has a. There is the molasses one as well, yes. But even the non-molasses one is more expensive. So here we go. Delivering those blocks. Then 5 blackstone and 3 normals. So stairs. More stairs. So here the next thing is a rack, item frame, CN part, and more iron. Do I have some more iron in my inventory somewhere? 4. I do have these here. I'm going to have to get those melted down. Item frame and rack. I think at least for a rack I have everything here. Sip, here. There we go. But yeah, I think one of the things that change the quickest and all the time is what we eat. Yeah, there are these kinds of things as well. Like I was buying jackfruit, canned jackfruit was much cheaper in the Asian store than in any other store, because in the Asian store it was just sold as a normal food product, and in the normal supermarket it was sold as like fancy stuff. An item frame. So, although these days, so there are some problematics as well with, it was not jackfruit, it reminded me of coconut, because apparently there's a lot of, not sure if you heard of it, there's a lot of monkey labor for coconut production. Did you know that?
It doesn't matter how much you know about implementation.
Do you know how in Thailand they get a lot of those coconuts down? They teach monkeys to get them the coconuts. And that is obviously not a nicey teachy. That is a hit on the head if it's not done the right way that one time.
That matters if you can't write music well.
So I got everything now for the smeltery.
At least they aren't eating the monkeys.
And they are also eating the monkeys, probably after the monkeys get too old to quickly get the coconuts, they're killed and eaten, I could imagine.
Matter where the music is going ultimately. This is when it's in your head and you're still thinking about it.
Yes.
You've gotta,
and there's also the issue of when it's gotten from very similar issues as
practically on your own these days. And
what is the name?
On its own with everything else that's out there.
Avocados, right? If it's produced in mass production, there are very environmentally unfriendly ways to produce it, and then sometimes it's shipped from the other end of the world as well. Especially avocados have a lot of environmental issues in general if they're produced in areas when there's not a lot of water. There are lots of problems in it. There are lots of problems.
Yeah.
Just I always have to say, most avocados are eaten by people that are neither vegetarian nor vegan.
A lot of that doesn't come down to what plugins you have. I mean, sure, having the right reverb helps and everything.
How is that when you're doing? Oh, the Citizen Hut is
really
finished.
Comes down to what's
Oh, yes. And we can get an enchanter.
Yes, and you can already trigger the next upgrade of the Citizen Hut as well.
And those two things are what make the best video game music, in my opinion.
This.
Because I'm not talking about
you see the Haas one,
music.
Mostly in Brazil, in the US that is. In Brazil, the Haas one is actually super rare. They have a green one mostly. That was funny. When I initially got the green one, I thought that one turns black eventually, and it wasn't ripe yet. So it got bad on the fridge. I didn't know. I didn't know better.
Say something meaningful.
We were relatively lucky. The neighbor had like an avocado tree, and we got tons of avocado for basically free there.
YouTube videos
That's
or anything.
nice.
I think that's more something you learn from doing it, from trying it over and
those
over and
taste
over
just
and
as
over.
well as the Haas one. I guess the Haas one is what you mostly have in, like in Portugal you probably have the other one because that's what they're growing in Brazil, and they have good trade relationships to Brazil, and that's what they're growing on the Madeira Islands. And I guess the Haas one is what you're having mostly because the skin is a little bit thicker, and I guess it's easier to ship them, I could imagine.
Yeah.
Zum. Actually had some slabs with me too. Here. Did you trigger the upgrade? Yes.
Yeah.
And the builder already came here. He was already here working on the upgrade. I guess they're now going back to get some stuff.
Yeah, he's missing a bunch.
The smeltery is almost finished. This episode we were very productive again. Yeah, that's one of the things of the Haas one that bothers me a lot, which is significantly easier with the green one they sell in Brazil. I always have that problem. Like you can, but usually you find it out by touching. If it gets too soft, it has to be like middle soft, kinda. Like not belly fat soft. It has to be a little bit softer than, a little bit harder than that. The same thing you have with the mango. Although mango is a little bit easier. When it's like really soft, it's bad. But it's relatively similar as a mango. If it's like middle soft, then it's okay. But quite often I ran into the problem that it was kind of like bad on the inside somehow already. So here we go. Ah, there's like this area here. It was like most of the avocado was still fine. Was perfect at the right point to be ripe, but part of it was already spoiled. That's horrible when that happens because it's expensive.
Yeah.
So a warped bridge? I don't think there's a warped bridge yet, if you ask me. What was that? Ah, the smeltery just finished. Awesome. So start a level 3 of that as well. Here we go. There I run. Nice. Build upgrades. What is the next? Gold blocks. Ouch. Please no iron blocks. Just 5 iron blocks. That hurts. Okay, I'm going to click upgrade on that. Still. But 5 iron blocks. Come on. That is expensive. Kugo, that is expensive. Ah, the lumberjack is finished, isn't it?
I think so.
So I can start the research for the sawmill. Sawmill. There we are. There we go. And let's also check for the miner again. Now that we have most of our colony relatively nicely shielded off, we're having actually significantly less deaths. The only deaths we're having is guards doing stupid teleportation things. They eat them when they're still...
At the beginning it was kinda brutal.
Yeah, in the beginning it was like super brutal. Now it's not a big difference from doing it in the overworld.
I guess we also didn't start in the best place.
Yeah, we were also pretty stupid. We didn't fence it off very well to start with and these kinds of things.
We like started in a biome where piglins can spawn.
With minimal level iron. I don't have any iron on me, do I? What do you need of iron? Let me... Okay. I'll come for you in a second. The good thing is that now a lot of the shaft is already easier to access, the miner. Okay, I'm going to the ship. I'm going to smelt a bunch more of iron. I'm going to need that anyway. But 5 iron blocks. 5. That's a lot. Here.
That's like 45 iron.
Yeah. Do I have that? Not. Okay. It's not even enough what I put in there. There's another gold ore to put there together. So actually I shouldn't have. Can put the gold ore later for the work to be smelt. Yeah, I'm not super happy with that armor mod either. I didn't know that that one would require leather to make all the things. Yeah, we have a bunch of gold. Gold is not a problem, exactly. So, do we have anywhere maybe an iron pickaxe lying around? A diamond one? I'm going to give a diamond pickaxe. An anvil, it also needs an anvil on the top of that. Darn it, an anvil as well. I think I have to go to the overworld in the beginning of the next episode again to get some iron. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's another 30 ingots. So up here we go. Up here we go. Give the stuff to the miner. I think I'm going to... That's going to be it for today. Just make the miner happy quickly. Here you go. Have pickaxe. Do you still have materials? Actually, I think the hut is out of the fence as well. Let me just also already craft then some warped fence. So here we go. Some torches as well. Now, as always, thanks a lot everyone for tuning in today. Don't forget that we will not be streaming tomorrow. The next stream is most likely going to be Thursday. I hope you will be tuning in on Thursday again. Thanks everyone for engaging in the chat with us and being here today. Thanks to Sam, as Rouse pointed out. Yes, thanks to Sam for being here with us as well. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you want to support the mod, you can consider becoming a Patreon and get access to our neat little server here. Good night everyone, have a good one. Ciao ciao and good night everyone.
Good night.